Bud Light Hog Talk rolls on here at District Bar and Grill. Welcome back. Our final guest here tonight is the red hot Jeremy Morin. No, don't do that.
Oh, I just see what's going on.
No, don't do that.
Why?
We don't need to cool you off. We need to keep it rolling.
Yeah, I know.
Nice round of applause for Mo here. Leading goal scorer for your Rockford IceHogs. Man, things have been flowing for you here.
No, it's been good. Definitely, these last kind of stretch of the quarter of the season has been good for the whole team, realistically. And so we just want to keep it rolling here, keep getting points, and hopefully, make that final step into playoffs.
I asked Teddy about it. I know you're going to focus on the team, but let's talk about yourself here. I just feel from start to now, the jump that you have made has been tremendous. And again, not that at the start of the season you weren't a good player. I just think that you have elevated your game, and right now you're playing at a different level. How does it feel for you?
I mean, obviously, I feel good on the ice. I feel, real confident with the puck, and obviously, I'm playing with some good players, so they kind of make it easy on me. And but I remember there was about 20 games ago or 15 games ago, we were in Texas. I remember that Teddy brought 4 or 5 of us in the office and just sat us down and gave us some stats about what we had to do going forward to hopefully make playoffs. And he's like, and he told us that you guys are gonna have to lead the way, and we kind of all took that to heart, and I remember that conversation pretty well, and I took it to heart, and we're just trying to play, good, solid hockey, and it's been working out for us. So I think that just take it moving forward.
Proof is in the numbers. I mean, you go back to that game, February 3rd, I think it was. You guys were down actually, what was it, 3-0?
Yeah.
And then 4-1, battled back, won in a shootout, a marathon shootout there, and ever since then, this team has been playing some tremendous hockey. I think 12-5 in the 17 games since that game in Texas. So, message received, I guess, right?
Definitely.
Now, the big talk of the town, of course, was yesterday's game, and got to do the due diligence and get this out there. Just that little incident at the end of the game there. Old hat for the Rockford IceHogs, of course. I mean, just a little innocent misunderstanding on the bench. Just kind of run through that. I mean, I know there's a lot of emotions going on. I mean, the Wolves and the IceHogs have played now 11 times, including, was it 4 times in 3 weeks or something like that? So a lot of familiarity there. But, just kind of talk about that altercation.
Well, it's people have obviously, a lot of people are talking about it right now, but it's something that happens really quick. I mean, at 1 second you're on the bench and nothing's going on. All of a sudden there's 4 or 5 people on your bench, and it just kind of escalates quickly. Everybody's just trying to sort everything out and just trying to protect each other. And I think that it sometimes gets taken. I thought we did a pretty good job of the coaches did a good job of kind of taming it and not letting it escalate to something that we've seen before. And but I think we did a good job, and obviously there was some punches thrown, but I think nobody was really put in a vulnerable position. That's pretty much what you're looking for in those situations, that nobody's getting double teamed or anything like that. And so obviously it happened. There was a little incident, but hopefully there's just kind of nothing comes of it.
I've been doing this for 12 years. I've never seen anything like it this season. This season has been it's been wacky. It's been very interesting, for a lack of a better term. I mean, there's been just some different scenarios that you normally don't see, and it's all happened in one hockey season. It's been a very unique season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I mean, obviously there's we had a lot of ups and downs for the team, just points-wise, and before that streak in Texas, we're obviously on a 6-game skid, and that was tough. Just to come out of that is tough to get that first win, and obviously whatever things went on with Grand Rapids and all the transactions with the lockout and stuff. So it's been a different year for sure, but I think we've all taken it in stride, and everybody's, knows their role in the team right now. It's huge that the guys are accepting their roles, and we're kind of just playing as a team right now.
Now, is that evident because all 4 lines are as effective as they are because guys are accepting their roles?
Yeah, that's huge. We have a first, second, third, and fourth line that guys know their role when they're on the ice. They have a job, and everybody's pretty much executing right now, and that's huge. You can't just rely on 3 or 4 guys to get the job done. Like every night has been playing and bringing it every night, and that's huge.
Now, we had Joe Lavin on a little bit earlier, and he reluctantly said that he thought the Irish, I think he just said it because he had to, would beat Syracuse. Say Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Do I say it wrong? Syracuse.
I really don't notice.
Syracuse?
Syracuse.
Okay. The Orange, that's your team.
Yeah.
That's your team.
I don't know.
First round, break down Syracuse, Montana.
Syracuse, Montana. I mean, obviously that Syracuse lost a heartbreaker in the Big East championship game, but I don't know. I think that they're playing some good ball right now, and I like their chances against Montana, obviously, and I think just got to get past the Sweet 16. That's kind of been stuck on that last couple of years. So.
No, you're obviously a college basketball fan to some extent. I know you're a big Buffalo Bills fan. Being a professional hockey player and getting some time at a major league level, has that changed how you watch sports as a fan at all over the last couple of years?
I mean, maybe a bit, just to kind of understand what comes with it, all the behind the scenes kind of things. But obviously, I'm not a basketball, so it's obviously different. But not really. I mean, just I'm just a casual fan with those, just like I was when I was 16, 17 years old, and so I still enjoy watching Syracuse and the Bills play, and I get excited and I get mad when they lose, just like a normal fan.
It's kind of funny because you grow up wanting to do this, and now you're doing it. And I just didn't know if it changed the way that you thought about, the professional game or even the college game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to a certain extent you maybe think that, but I don't really think of it that way. They're kind of a different sport. Obviously, I have a huge respect for those guys, just to know what they go through and stuff like that. But I'm still just kind of a casual fan. Now,
the team will probably do a little inner locker room bracket. Who on the team do you think would be the dark horse to win not the dark horse? Who would be the winner in the locker room? Who do you think would be the guy that would pick the best bracket?
Well, I think that I personally know the most about college basketball, but I think that usually that doesn't mean anything in the brackets.
Yeah.
As we've seen, Alec Richards won last year, and I don't think he's ever even seen a game before. And I don't know. It's just kind of those guys that just kind of, they go on, they check some brackets, and they just pretty much copy an expert's bracket and hopefully get lucky. A lot of guys that don't know anything about basketball usually win these things anyways. You know that.
No, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this one. It's probably one of the fellows from Sweden, but who in the locker room probably is the absolute clueless on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the Swedes or I mean, I don't see Olesh watching too much college basketball, but that's I don't know. A lot of guys on the team realistically don't know too much about basketball.
They don't watch it in the Czech Republic?
No,
or what?
they don't.
No?
I don't know what they watch. Full House or something. I don't know.
Baywatch? I don't know what it is, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on over there?
No, I don't know.
So you think it's going to be a dark horse guy in the dressing room that's going to come away the winner?
Yeah, well, I think Brookbank is always he loves his stuff, and Shane, our strength coach, is
him and Beach.
him and Beach.
Shane and Beach think they're sport bookies,
yeah,
right?
They think they got it figured out.
Right, they got their own odds on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they love it. So.
We got some Twitter questions for you here. Jeremy Morin, by the way, our guest. This is Bud Light Hog Talk. I think we only have 3 or 4 more of these episodes here at District Bar and Grill. We're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty here. But Mo, we got some questions for you. This comes from Savannah, and she asks, "What player growing up did you idolize and try to take after?"
Kind of 2 players, both on the same team at that time, but Brett Hall and Mike Modano. I don't know why, but I was always a big Dallas Stars fan growing up. And both those guys I looked up to, especially Brett Hall. Obviously likes to shoot the puck and score goals, and that's kind of thing that I try to pride myself on. And he was obviously pretty good at it. So
I despise the Stars.
Why?
I mean, Norm Green stole our team.
I don't even know who that is, man.
He was the owner when they did the North Stars. He hijacked them to Dallas.
Yeah.
And then they won a cup, of course.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for, the Vikings need to move because then they'll probably win a Super Bowl. That's my theory anyways.
Same with the Bills.
All right, another one. Taylor asked, you guys are very close to making it to the playoffs. How are y'all, that's verbatim here, preparing yourselves for it?
Dallas. What?
How y'all preparing for the for the playoffs? I'll kind of rephrase it because the team's not in the playoffs yet. How are you preparing yourselves for the playoff push?
Well, it's kind of taking it one game at a time. I think we know how important each game is. I mean, obviously, if we would have not laid an egg on Saturday, we'd be sitting in an even better spot than we are right now. And we know that just because we're close doesn't mean we're going to make it, because last year we made the same thing. We made a push, and it was too late, too little too late. And I think that we just have to be consistent. We can't lay off the gas pedal at all, because if we do, we're going to put ourselves in a position that we can't come back from. I think that just bringing it every single night and having that consistency will be huge.
Elizabeth asks, how does it feel after scoring all those great goals and game-winning goals?
It obviously feels pretty good just to execute, especially those ones on the power play. I think the whole power play is kind of rised up in this last 15 games, and have found some chemistry, and especially with getting the game-winning goals. It's fun. It's helping the team win, and especially at home there was fun.
Now you scored 2 game-winning goals this week, and you got both of them Friday and Sunday, and they were 2 different goals, not just because they were shorthanded in power play, but the one on yesterday you scored in the second period. So there was a ton of hockey left. There was a period. It was probably a minute and a half left in the second period. So, at the time, you had no idea that goal was going to hold up. The one on Friday was a shorthanded goal with just 2.5 minutes left. Now there was still time left, but a shorthanded goal in a tied game. I mean, it's a pretty hard dagger to pull out if you're the opposition. So you can't let off the intensity level, but that had to feel pretty good in that situation.
Yeah, especially the shorthanded goal. I think that for being them and being Chicago, they obviously don't think they're going to let up a shorthanded goal, but we had an opportunity there, and I saw it was Pierre, and he made a great play to me, and I just kind of had to whack it in. But it's definitely had to be deflating for their team, and it's a big lift for our team just getting a shorthanded goal there, because you don't really ever expect to get those.
Now, a lot of people, especially with yesterday's situation, said, well, it's Vancouver and Chicago. Well, I don't think people understand that players here don't care who the affiliate is on the other team or who our affiliate is, but there still is a true sense to a rivalry with Chicago, Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, right? I mean, kind of talk about that from a player. It doesn't matter that Grand Rapids is Detroit. That's the last thing on anybody's mind, right, when you're going out there to start a hockey game, or that Vancouver's in Chicago, right?
Well, I guess you can look at it in the sense that, we play those teams 12 times a year.
Right.
But at the same time, the big club, they play those teams a good amount too. That's why there's the rivalry in both, up there and down here. If you play a team enough, there's obviously going to be some, controversy or, bad blood. And there's definitely, it's kind of heated up in the last, 24 hours, but I think that it's been like that all year. When we play, we know it's a huge divisional game, and it's a 4-point game, so obviously we take those on the calendar, and we try to execute. So.
We have one more Twitter question. It's actually for me. It's any longtime IceHog fans here remember the name Kevin Bartle, original broadcaster? He actually checked in tonight. He said, how come there weren't any brawls when I was the broadcaster? He obviously doesn't remember 1999, Quad City. Any longtime fans coming off the ice after the second period? Benches cross. You ever wonder why there's no brawls? You ever wonder? I think it was actually 2000. It was 2000, 2001. It actually happened once where the teams were coming off the ice, right? Yeah. The benches have always been set up the same. The lockers have always been set up the same. Back in the United League days, there was a brawl with the teams coming off. It was a full-out brawl with everybody. And both goalies, too, is the rumor. I didn't see it, but so... Sorry, Kevin. I guess you forgot about that one. He might have been at commercial break for all I know. I don't know. So, but Jeremy Morin, a few more moments here with Mo here before we wrap up another edition of Bud Light Hog Talk. And you like the trip out to Abbotsford? You like these longer trips? I mean, we only have to do it once. The teams in their division, which this year I believe is the North Division, is where they're at, have to do it twice. But once isn't too bad, is it, to go out there?
Yeah, no, it's good. I've been there twice now, and I like it there. I like the rink and setup, and it's nice to, obviously we love playing at home, but sometimes it's nice to kind of get away and be with the team for, an extended period of time, and just being together, it just, brings guys closer, and it helps out on the ice.
Now, the team's been really good on the road here. I think they've won 7 of the last 9 on the road. Talk about playing on the road, and it's a different setup than it is at home. I mean, everything on the road is really regimented. Not that it isn't on home ice, but at home, after morning skate, go grab lunch. I got to run to the grocery store quick and pick up a few things. Or there's different maybe distractions at home. On the road, it's all surrounded with hockey, right?
Yeah, that's why it's good to get on the road. You have to have those during the year. Just kind of get away and and just focus on hockey for those 4 or 5 days that you're away. And obviously the guys are together. You don't get to go home to your own bed and get a good sleep in, but it's different for sure. But you have to. A lot of teams on the road that they take pride in home ice, and I think you have to capitalize when you're home, and we've done that recently, and so it's been good. But I think that these are obviously 4 huge points for us. We're going to try to go in there and get all 4 of them.
I meant to ask you this earlier. Yesterday in the first period, Sean Malone had one of the better moves I've seen this year.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out how he didn't score. I think it got blocked. I don't know. He pulled Climby out.
Yeah.
As a forward, were you sitting there going, are you kidding me? Look at this defenseman out there dangling guys.
I remember my first year with Bill Peters, and I did the same move in Chicago, and he told me, and I missed the same way he missed, and he told me if I ever do that again, then I'm not going to be playing too much.
It was like the Major League nice, you know what move, never do it again, right?
It's one of those moves that you beat the goalie clean, you have the whole net, and people think it's pretty easy to just tuck it in, but you have to go behind your body and reach around and tuck it in. It's really hard, but that was a great move, and it was unfortunate he couldn't bury it.
Talk about doing something like that in practice and translating that into a game. I mean, there's nothing that can simulate a game situation. No. But to try to do any of that stuff in the game that you guys can pull off, I mean, you've scored a couple goals this year falling down. It's not like in practice you practice that, but how much different is that?
Well, it's just a different pace. Obviously, we try to emulate a game situation as much as possible in practice, but it's just not the same. The intensity is up, but I think that it's more about confidence issue. If you mess up in practice, it really doesn't matter. But guys have to have the confidence to be able to make those moves and try them in a game and execute them. It's obviously a different pace, so it's tough.
Well, Mo, you've been an absolute pleasure to watch here this year, and just keep it rolling, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, nice round of applause for Jeremy Morin, forward for your Rockford IceHogs.